Hello and welcome as today's date comes in that of Wednesday. It's the 16th day of October 2019. My name is Derek Allbets Trades and of the like, well, that is within each's own risk and their own reward. Starting off within Bitcoin and the monthly term time frame, which has price action now on red candle down number 4 in a row. After there was 5 in a row up, and before that there was 6 in a row down, and then one in a row up, two in a row down, one in a row up, one down, one up, one down, and before there was three up, yeah, yada yada yada. But as it goes, the amount of descent or how much it has went down in this 4 months, well, it could have been bigger in just 2 or 3 or 4, or 1 month anyway. Could have easily done all that in just a shorter period of time. But what has happened is when price action didn't resist the lows of the highs on the 18 after having one small blimp below it, it has now been supporting in this area. So we're in that correctionary phase. 18 average of hot lows is in at 6,071, which means because price action went to, because we're still above it, it's going to still technically be grinding higher. So most likely, there's a good chance if price action doesn't fall before then, that the this will rise up to like that 62 number. Even still, 6,300 or so is that key Fibonacci number. It usually pierces extra, so there's a good chance that if we do head towards those levels, which we'll see in the shorter term, that a 63 test would most likely also mean 6,000 will be tested as well. On the weekly chart, after from this last time was below the 18 lows, we get above it, and there's a continuous move, exitation at the start of April, and it never touched the 18 average until after its high. And we've broken down below the support with a significant red candle down, and it's just been three sideways consolidation below the newly declining 18 average of lows, filling just an okay amount of the empty space from this high towards this low. And then when we take a look at this, say, on a daily chart, this little range in here, it's not the range, but there we have it. We had support down here at 7,800. Well, we're pretty much close to it now. We only have to fall down another couple $100, and we're really at test number 4 amongst that level. As test number 1. Okay, my there we go. Sorry, I pushed the undo button because I can't find my delete button. It just deleted on me, literally. I can't see it like a. Anyway, so we see it going below the 18 average of lows after it had this move and attempting to go higher. And of course, the delete button I was looking for was this. And now showing movements below such on the single hour term time frame. This happened here 7 o'clock and then again at 8 o'clock as we broke down below the shorter term level of support at 8,100. And like most times, you end up having a significant break below because we can see that this previous level of support got retested here. It held and stayed above it, and literally in here. And then having a decent pierce, we could see it resisted in that area for 3 periods, and then down she goes. So I'd be looking for this to be the area for that of future support. And we can see that this line even support even goes back to October the 8th or little over 1 week ago. So now we're looking at, okay, so where do we go just by looking at this, not even using any math Fibonacci, just by looking at the charts? Well, I can see that this was most certainly a previous area, and boy, was it ever, because it goes back really, really big. So this is what it looks like that we should be heading down towards, is the next key support at around all sevens. Bitcoin dominance is up 0.3% for the day, which means altcoins are barely losing more than Bitcoin is. We'll get to market cap actual itself after this chart. I don't know why I haven't been covering it too much. I just haven't thought about it really more than anything. But as far as what we can see here, short term, after this is a 3-hour time frame after falling down below here 3 days ago, we've been solidly corrected within this sideways range and attempt right now to get over it. And this is just a more recent event because I've seen everything pretty much fall at once. And we'll get to alts in a little bit. But Let's now go to the dominance. 143 billion here is where we stand. And over the last, well, since this high in here, since October the 11th, we've seen it fall 15 or so basis points from 158. That's about a 10% decline. And I can even put percentages in here and go like that. We can see like from here, that's 8.62 from this close. So whatever. I guess might be another better way of looking at it until we get to these Fibonacci lines that may appear. Yep, they do. So I'll put the numbers back in a little bit. But the reason why I want to put these percentages in, we can see that just from these highs that the market's down 25% from these highs. And if we look back in here, we're only down 6% since May of earlier this year. So we pretty much went flat. All these gains we've given back, that's what all that is. It's up 56% from here, which is earlier in April, and then back in February, market cap has doubled. Back last year in 2018, well, we're up 27%. And even from this, we're still up from this point, but yeah, we're going to be going from, oh my goodness, market cap's down 24% from here, and now down 50% even from these highs way back when. And it's also up 281% from here, and it's up 1,300% from there, and it's up 1,900 from there, and 3,700% from there. And that's just the way these volatile markets are going to work. As far as where these numbers are concerned, and looking at this Fibonacci more clearly, we had 215. The Fibonacci represents from this high to this low 23.6, 38, 61, and 76.4% on the number scale. And after resisting this multiple times at the 215 number, we've had the support come in right at 165. What hasn't happened is resisting where we came from. So it looks to me as if we're heading to 108. That doesn't necessarily mean we will, because based on price action, as I see this, it looks like a move could come just like that. That would be nasty, but you know what? That's what these volatile crypto markets are often going to do. And as I've mentioned, we still haven't resisted this area. Maybe from now or from something like this, it could do it this way. And then you got to make the case of that failed breakdown. If this level does hold and price action manages to bring it up towards this, the setup and what I'd be stating here would be like, okay, this is looking relatively phenomenal. Now, what's more favored than the other? How do you mathematically calculate that to get your best possible results? And of course, statisticians and mathematicians are the ones that would have to put very good formulas, and I wouldn't even want to try that. But yes, as it goes, we can see in here, just like Bitcoin, the failed breakout above here. And if Bitcoin prices fall down to 6,300, what I can mathematically figure something out now is this is an interesting idea. If 8,000 or so falls to 6,000, we would lose 25%. So 0.75 of where we stand right now at 143. Well, that would take us right to that number. So interestingly enough, if Bitcoin dominance stays afloat and we end up having, and right now Bitcoin dominance is staying afloat, then we would have a move right down to here. If other altcoins do worse, maybe it comes to the 76.4 fib on a move like this. But if there's going to be any Bitcoin price to that fast move that I talk about to the 6,000 area, it's going to come down to here. And if there's that fast move I mentioned going over 10,000, we're most likely going to break above and show that failed breakdown situation amongst here, especially if altcoins just perform it up. It could be a nasty failed breakdown if and only if that's the situation that comes into play. And in looking at the altcoins that I trade within each other, since 8 o'clock, my best gainer is Bitcoin Cash against Bitcoin up 0.18%. and Ripple is up 0.14%. The biggest losers, and after Bitcoin itself is down 1.9, so all of these, this would be down like 1.7 against the dollar kind of deal. And then we have Sky and Go down decently, and Go is down even more. I'm looking to get one more buy on Go. I have more Go than I've ever had before, as I once recently broke the 100,000 number, and then I had to sell it off because Go went up. And now I, for the first time, broke the 110,000 number. Maybe one day I'll break 200,000 or a million with this within my trading strategy. We'll see. But we got that we have this down 5%, Theta down 4. Just everything's down a little bit as far as the ratio trades that I did manage to perform. Again, most of it was Go. Let's just take a look at the percentage gainers and losers here. Bitcoin Cash I traded against. I did this trade as this managed. I just didn't want to do that, but do that like I was trying to. This managed to go up a little bit, so that was all nice and fine. I traded this as well. So it's now just Ripple has broken resistance above this, which is, and Ripple's holding in there really well actually. Maybe I should just it's what else do I got against Ripple? I guess. Well, anyway, this is the one I'm trying to sell, but it didn't work out unfortunately. Which is Tezos and Go on the single hour term time frame. I was trying to get up in here. I didn't. I was actually I would have sold. I was. It takes a while for deposits to work within Tesla. It took about 20 minutes or so for me to get it onto the exchange, and then by the time it got onto the exchange, the Go chain started to retrace back lower on this way, meaning Go chain was going higher. The 109, 110 prices that I was buying at were no longer there. What else did I trade? I traded Litecoin as well too against Go, I think as well. So that one's going to be. I mean, this was one of the better ones, I think. Well, pretty much probably near the top. I got probably somewhere near that 6,000 number. But you know what? It's all just part of the game. And yeah, I'm looking at Ripple against something else. Here's Ripple against Theta. It must be like having a nice breakout here as well. I mean, yeah, it's just holding in there very, very well for quite some time. We can see back here, 203 now at 345. We're back to levels back from these July highs, which means as far as ratio trading is concerned, or any type of trading if the market looks like this, if this is the conditions that you have, it means during the downtrend, the price action was because Theta is on the right hand side of this cross. That means it was winning or doing better. So I'd be selling Theta for Ripple. Now, along the way, it's always nice to have situations where you can pick away at this and maybe something can happen here. You definitely here to here was a spot along the way. Selling here, maybe a little bit of buyback. Nothing too fantastic and definitely nothing on the way up. Because what has been lackluster, although other than the fact that what I trade here is a trade back on the way here. So this trade gets executed here, this trade might get executed here, and so on and so forth, is so far every single one of these buybacks or returns haven't been too fantastic. 288 does go to the 18 average of highs at 264, but that's only a differential of like about 10%. And that's really about the best that there's been. But I mean, things are going to move as they're going to move. The previous days of outstanding volatility are right now just that, previous. And what is normal is for volatility in markets to go through different conditions, go through normal, high, and low. And right now, market conditions, as I've been stating, have been very, very low, very, very dry. And when we have moves like this is going from a top of November 21st of 8.5 down to 2.5. And then back to 7.6. And then these just intra small moves here. As you were able to sell maybe near this top. And that top, again, was near 7.5, but it goes down to 5.5. So I can take 2 divided by 5.5. Well, 2 into 6 is 33%. So that's even higher than that. So like 37, 38% volatility. So awesomely, you can be able to buy in here, sell back in here. I mean, I wasn't doing it with this chain at the time, But when these situations do occur, you got to be ready for it. Because back in here, you could be saying, yep, I mean, okay, whatever, we're not doing much. If we go above here, maybe we can go up to like, say, 380. But hey, that's not bad. That's a differential of like 60 basis points. That's like uh, 17, 18%. But then you get more than that. You have it go from 3.2 to 8.3. So you have to adjust, at least for me, I have to adjust to the situation, which in this case would mean selling Ripple for theta if you're in a cross like this. And then you can see that, okay, everything that you sell in here does get bought back in here. And you're never predicting it because when the price action is doing all of this stuff, whether the price goes up in here, okay, I'll just sell more. Or if it goes down in here, I'll start my buybacks. I'll just let the market conditions do what it does. And then you can see any of the buybacks in here. Okay, sell, sell, sell. So everything that you end up selling on Ripple to buy theta was magnificent for able to take advantage of this, especially if you were up at that time, which happened. And well, that was 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, or New York time, which would have meant very early time in Europe in the morning, and very late in the Pacific coast in the North Americas. But regardless of the fact, even if all you got was in here and you missed out on this, you still got that. And you still got this to come through after the fact. These markets, I think, are going to go through and have these movements, but these can be long, 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 less volatile moments. And when I'm talking about less volatile moments in here, which is for the last better than half of a year, but not even close to a year because it's not even a full year to date situation. And even for that, yeah, the a low of March, the March lows of 155 and the high of 390, and it's not that volatile. That's what I like to. That's high volatile markets, of course, in the nutshell. Crossing it over to Bitcoin Cash, it was a long time ago, and I still have these lines in. When I was saying, okay, we're in the symmetrical triangle, and I wasn't knowing which side it was going to break. I thought for a while it was going to break to the downside. It obviously didn't. And price action did come back to, oh, where's it probably going to go? Where was the last key high? Well, that's where it went to. And since then, there was this little bit of a downward spiral where this thing went from 470 down to 387. And this market cross is designed to be less volatile because these are two lower volatile coins in Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash. But as it goes, we see a Bitcoin Cash, okay, after this down move and correctionary play, showing like it's attempting to go back and test that resistance at 4 2/3, 4 3/5. And if it does do something like that, if it were to get back to this previous high in here, then those are two bullish things that can happen. Is one, it can go even further, 5, 6, 7, whatever. Second one is it can correct my small, meaning just congest within this level, or maybe come back to what I'd be looking at around 4, and it isn't even there yet, but 433, which would be this area here. And and as it goes, it might just do any of this falling at any time. All that takes is, oh my goodness, Litecoin just had a spot for whatever reason. And I don't care the reason, I care about the price. And if it does that, then maybe something like that will go on. I'll react to that situation as well. Four, my theory upon these types of coins, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Ethereum, uh, Ripple, you name it, all of them, Neo. You put them together. I don't care which of those two you put together with each other. They're just going to do this choppy-ish, volatile, chop up and down action like this, and because of that, you're going to probably have a lackluster of trying to find trend in many of these times when looking at the entirety of the situation. And in here, we have these early highs and these early lows, and well, it's getting to that point even still already because getting above these highs. Oh, where are we going to? Well, these highs were 6.9. And if this thing breaks down, well, where do we go to? Well, we got deeper support of where we came from in here at 354. We got this low at 285, and then this low at 228, which is a completion of this range, really from the 2018 highs, and well, the end of just a few months from the end of literally the end of 2018 to the end of the first quarter. So basically, yeah, Q basically one full quarter because this started on like December 22nd, a week before the Q1, and this bottom a couple weeks even, so pretty much almost one quarter to define what has been this range so far, and it hasn't. It's still, quite frankly, pretty close to the middle of it right now. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye bye.